YouTube, it's Project, and are you ready for some Arknights? Yeah, Arknights has released on global and was a pretty anticipated gacha people were pretty hyped to finally get as a global release, so I figured why not give it a try and at least make a reroll guide for those that may be interested. Arknights is a tower defense game with waifus, lots and lots of them, that are mostly or even all like half beast of some sort. So whether you're into Neko-chans or dragon maids or frickin' crocodile chicks, like my boy Steve Irwin was, RIP bro, but this game is for you! But it's a tower defense game, so yeah. Bloon Squad represent! Now, I haven't actually played the game much past the reroll point, I'm just going off information from Reddit and such, but from what I've gathered, the game's basically all PvE and very beatable with free-to-play units. And the game's pretty free-to-play friendly apparently as far as getting heroes too, so you could easily just reroll for a unit that you like the design of and will have no problems with most of the content of the game. For the sake of this video and getting you to start as soon as possible, we're going to be focusing on heroes from the banner rate ups specifically, because they're just easier to get and the newbie banner has 6 stars that are pretty much some of the best units in the game anyways. So for rerolling, I recommend having 2 Gmail accounts, a dummy one for rerolling, and then your main one you want to bind your final account to, as unfortunately, unlike Epic 7, there is no reset button in game, so you'd have to delete your game data, which makes multi-instance rerolling on emulators a pain for your data usage or bandwidth, and the more patches the game gets over time, the more data you're having to re-download if you're watching this at a later date. So this email method is the fastest and most data-friendly method there is. It takes like 30 seconds to set up a Gmail account, so no biggie, do it. Make an extra one if you already have one, or make 2 if you have none. So step 1, start the game on guest account. We'll bind the account after our reroll, even if the roll fails. So just start a guest account, ignore the warnings. Step 2, skip all the cutscene junk. Bam, click through the tutorial basically until the game makes you summon your first unit. After that, it'll take you into a mission called 0-1. Start it. Skip the cutscenes again, and as soon as you have control, tap the gear icon on the upper left. That basically retreats the mission and kicks you back to home screen, where you can then get your login goodies. Step 3. Claim all those goodies. You're gonna get some tickets, heroes, and summoning currency. Now this is where you can summon for your role, and this is where the path splits into 2. Route 1. You start with just the guaranteed 6-star from the 10 pool on the newbie banner, and either start right away or re-roll till you get your desired 6-star from one of the 6 here. Or perhaps you want to go for a 6-star and a 5-star in one 10 roll. This would be the banner to do that on. For Route 2, you try your luck on the second rate up banner in hopes of pulling a 6-star there first, so you can eventually save back up your currency by progressing the game to get your second guaranteed 6-star through the first banner guaranteed 10 pool. The second banner also has more 6 and 5-star options I believe, so if you really wanted Saria for example, you would re-roll on the second banner for her. You get 3 headhunting tickets for free, so that's 3 extra chances at a 6 or 5-star. And basically with all the currency combined, you can do 10 pulls on the second banner with all the currency you get, so you're at least guaranteed a 5-star if you're doing that. Now I will say, if you're looking for an off-banner hero, the chances of re-rolling for them is way harder, since the rate-up heroes take up 50% of the chance when you do land a 5-star, 50% of the time it's going to be those rate-up heroes. So like, I really want the Panda Girl Afreet. I think out of all the heroes, she's my fave. She's my waifu. But re-rolling for her on the banner is gonna be super hell, so it might not be worth the effort and would be better to just wait for a future rate up instead. And those are basically your two options. Again, like I said before, the game's beatable with lots of the lower 4 and 5 star options. It's just 6 stars are always at least good, so why not pick one of those to start? One kinda soft warning is do not waste all your Arknight Prime to exchange for the summon currency. OP is very valuable apparently later on. It's a premium currency, essentially very hard to get for free to play, so save that junk until the more important deals happen in the future. Apparently it can also buy skins that you, as a free to play, would not be able to get otherwise, so just a word of warning there, don't go too crazy spending all that Prime. The gacha's done, you did your summons, now on to binding. Say you're satisfied with your role and want to proceed the game. Well, just bind it to your main Gmail account or Facebook or whatever like you would normally and have fun. You're done. Go play, stop watching, what are you doing? Go play! But if you're not satisfied and want to reroll, this is where the second Gmail comes into play, the dummy one. For your first attempt, you bind it to the dummy Gmail. Log out. When home screen pops up, go to account management and then sign in as a guest again, and that'll start you all over. You're gonna do all these steps I've said before the exact same way, even when it comes to binding the account. However, subsequent rerolls, this is where the trick begins. For every subsequent reroll after the first, when you reach the binding step, you're gonna put a plus number in front before the @gmail.com. and then increase it by 1 every reroll. So for a clear example, your first attempt would be just linking it to your dummy Gmail as is, you know, blank@gmail.com. Your second reroll will be blank +1 @gmail.com. Your third reroll will be blank +2 @gmail.com, and so on and so forth. You basically just keep increasing the number each reroll. For some reason, despite the +X number, it still sends all the verification codes to bind the account to the same original dummy email, blank@gmail.com. I don't know why, but it just does. The reason you need to bind at all is because you can't log out as a guest and start anew, so this method plays around that and around deleting your data. However, I do not trust the plus number thing as a permanent account. Thus, why I said to make 2 accounts, one for the numbers for rerolling on failed rerolls, and one for the final main roll you want to stick with. I tried to unbind a +1 dummy Gmail before, and it wouldn't let me, so you could run into problems later if something happened to the account. So, the dummy account is purely for the reroll method, remember that. Just to add, this may or may not work in the future, but as of the launch period, it's working. And you can multi-instance this trick as well. However, you're gonna have to keep track of all the codes sent to your email, so probably wouldn't multi-instance more than 3 instances at once. And that's about it for the reroll method. Takes about 4 to 5 minutes each reroll, a little faster if you click 2x speed as often as possible during the tutorials, and yeah, good luck with the pulls. Now again, I haven't delved into the game yet to give concrete, these are who you should reroll for, but just from hearsay on Reddit and such, the best unit is basically the male Silver Ash. He's basically Arbiter Rigid of the game, good in many scenarios and from start to finish. If you're gonna be a gameplay incel and pick just one unit to reroll for, that's the one. Now this game is class heavy, so just because one unit is really high tiered doesn't mean it's the best for A or B scenario, or may not work as well as people tier them without X units, like Siege. So tiering is pretty hard, but second best to Ash, at least popularity wise, seems to be the Ranger Girl, Exusiai. And third is probably let's just call her EJ or AJ. And the rest of the 6 stars are a mix of S to A ranked heroes. I'll leave a link to GamePress's tier list in the description. Don't know if it's accurate, but it's better than what I can recommend. At the very least, you can use that to see all the available heroes and maybe pick one to reroll for. Before ending, you should have gotten tickets for a couple of heroes for pre-registration rewards that everyone gets. Savage, a guard that does good in melee, and then a 5-star selection ticket between 4 5-star heroes. So, you might want to pick them or reroll for a certain class opposite to them based off who you have or choose, so you don't overlap roles too much and have a balanced team so you can cover all scenarios. Like if you didn't get a healer in your 10 roles, for example, then you might want to select Silence from the ticket as your healer. Or if you have a healer in the other roles, perhaps you want Project Red as a specialist. You don't want all guards, for example, as you'll get wrecked by flying stages that need a ranger, or if you lack a healer, then damage over time stages will be nearly impossible for you. So having a balanced team seems to be ideal. From what I've gathered, all these are good 5 stars, with the leopard one, unfortunately, slightly lower than the others as buffers aren't too crazy needed. Poor leopard girl. But that's a quick start guide for you guys. Hopefully it makes the reroll process for you smoother. Now, if you're curious of my opinion of the game, I'm unsure if I'll get deep into this game. I'll give it a shot, but just from face value, as good as the art and some of the character designs are, they are still just 2D static drawings. If you wanted to stare at that, I mean, you got Pixiv all day with drawings similar to this, and plenty more if you know what I mean. And the gameplay is, well, tower defense. Not the most exciting gameplay feature, and just visually the chibis look like nothing more than Gacha life chibis, like almost exactly the same. So I don't know, I just don't think it has that punch like Epic 7, for example, visually. I do like the voice work at least, good voice work, but no animated sprites is a bummer. The UI looks very nice though, and maybe the story will be solid, so we'll see. But yeah, that's the guide. Give it a try if you want. Otherwise, join the Neo 2 waiting list. Make sure to headhunt that like button, comment down below who you're rerolling for, and subscribe for potentially more Arknights epicness.